Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with the final ephemera video. Not the final ephemera, but the final ephemera that we're going to be making on camera. I still have a lot of other stuff to do for the Winter Garden Journal, but this will be the last project video. So in terms of creating the ephemera, sorry, being repetitive there. Not feeling great today, but I not going to lay around. So, but I first wanted to show you, you will have already seen the video of this process, but I wanted to show you the copies. So I went ahead and scanned all those mixed media pages that I did, where I took some vintage music pages from the vintage share that I also put up on YouTube. So I went ahead and I did some mixed media work on these pages just to fortify them, make them stronger. And then we went ahead and dipped them in some coffee dye in a bucket, and then we also applied some ink. So I wanted to show you what the copies look like. They are phenomenal, you guys. So here is the first one. So is it upside down? I can't tell. No, this one's upside down. There we go. So there you go. So you can see the pink that we did. That was a beautiful pink acrylic ink. And so that's the first one. I'm just going to show you and let you look. Let it focus here. There we go. And because I'm an impatient crafter, I did pat them with a paper towel while the gesso was still wet. And that's why we've got some beautiful pattern in here. And then some of this that you see over here is actually the gesso. Over here, rather, sorry. Again, I haven't fixed the mirroring on my camera yet, so I need to work on that. So everything's opposite. I'm getting used to it though, but that's just the beautiful grunginess that we've got going on here. And down here, you can also see this is the gesso creating that visual texture on the copy. So it looks almost like exactly the same as the original. It's pretty amazing. So this is exactly what the texture looked like on the original. This is the paper towel markings because I get my paper towels from Costco. And then we've got this beautiful turquoise color. When I was creating the video, it looked really blue, but it is very, very, very turquoise. So this is one of my favorites. This is the one where some of the paper tore because I was not patient. So these markings in here are where the paper tore up. So you can see how the original was affected by that tearing, and it left some beautiful texture there, which is just so fun. And then another one here. And then I wanted to capture this one so I could get just a focus on that center section with all that writing. I have to figure out on my... Well, that was interesting. My camera just stopped working for some reason, so I'm not sure. The only way I knew is it started beeping. 3, 2, 1, countdown to talk again. So, and some of these are duplicates, so I apologize for that. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I might have touched the mouse there because I had it sitting. I had some of the paper sitting on it, so still learning. So today we're going to create. I've been wanting to create using the CD pocket envelope things that I got at Goodwill. I've been using them a lot, but I've been wanting to do one where you put the top envelope flap over the edge of the page, and then it's got two CD envelopes that will flip down kind of in a cascading way. So I apologize, my hands are not in view. So that's the idea. That will make more sense as we move along here. But these are my little, we're going to do some pockets on the back. So I just cut some vellum. And so we're going to have to be doing some inking and stuff here, but we can get to that in a moment. I pre-cut some cards to go inside. And I wanted to try just doing a rounded top on this journal card. This time I've never done that. Already, again, picked all of my little ephemera bits. So I'm just going to try to set these aside here so that I can keep track of what is what, because there's a lot of moving parts to this. That is number 2. And then I already did punch my hole with my crocodile for this tag. And then our last one is this cute little floral image and the little bird tab. So we're going to set that over there. I'm going to need to ink all these things, so I'm just trying to keep them in order a little bit. These are just the circles that I cut out. I used my die cut machine to cut out the paper to go in here, or to go around this rather. Oh goodness. Again, not feeling good. I've got symptoms, and I couldn't go to work today because I have symptoms. So, and I'm not brave enough to get in my car and go get tested today just because of some of my symptoms. So I will wait until tomorrow to do that. But I've been resting most of the day, feeling pretty out of it. So these are the pieces that are going to go on the back of each of the CD envelopes. And again, that will make more sense as we go along. These are the bits that are going to go on the front. So let me just show you what that will look like. So I actually cut the circle out of this main piece of paper, and then what's inside of here is actual a journal card that is exactly lined up to the cut on this circle piece of paper. I left these whole just because it's really tricky to cut these off. So I'm going to glue them on and then trim them up because it's really hard to do and get all the measurements correct when working with these CD envelopes. So those are our three top pieces. So I'm going to set those aside as well. And then here are our CD envelopes. So the way it's going to work is, hold on, let me just undo these because there's no harm now. I know what I'm doing. Hopefully I know what I'm doing. So we've got 3 CD envelopes. The first one is going to flip over the top of the page. This one is going to glue onto there. And then the last one will glue onto there. Not in this particular order, but that's the idea. And so I'm going to go ahead and slip out these cards as well because they will need to be inked. And they're just cut 5 by 5, just short of 5 by 5 to fit inside of that sleeve. So I'm just going to take those out so that we can get them inked. I may round the corners on those. There will be no harm in doing that. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera and really quickly ink all of these bits, and I will be back with you shortly. Okay, so I'm going to stop with the inking now just because I don't want to ink these bits until we get them on the envelope and trimmed up. And then I also did start to ink this envelope, but I can ink those afterwards. So I went ahead and stopped what I was doing there. So let's go ahead and start with our first one. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue everywhere here around that window. And I do want to make sure that I'm matching these up. So hopefully, oh, this one doesn't match up to anything. Or does it? Yes, it does. Oh my goodness. It does. So let's see. I think I want this one to be on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my glue. I'm using my art glitter glue in the small bottle today. Try to get a little bit more precision here with my gluing. If I can get it to open up. The pin's been in it, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but I want a little bit, I want it to be pretty quick, adhesion here, so I'm just going to go around this window really quick first. I will go ahead and do all 3 of these, get this piece on. I'm switching glues because that's not going to work for me. I'm going to put all these fronts on first, and then I'll speed through or probably delete that out because you don't really need to see that, and then I'll be back with you.
So this is the winter garden kit from My Porch Prints, and this journal, which will be called oh my goodness, not Winter Dragon, Winter Garden, I believe. I may rename it, but I'm using the Winter Garden Kit from My Porch Prints. And this journal will be a giveaway as part of our 1,000 subscriber celebration. So this journal will, folks will be eligible if you live in the United States or Canada. And yeah, so it's going to be a giveaway anyway. And so this is the last ephemera making video for the journal. And then there will be 2 other prizes, second prize and third prize for the subscriber celebration. But I haven't decided what those are going to be. And I've obviously delayed because I had computer issues. So I hit 1,000 subscribers almost 2 weeks ago, but just due to circumstances, I could not work on this journal. So thank you for being patient and waiting. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these off really quick, and I will be back with you. So this is the last one. In retrospect, I wish that I had inked around the center, but I did not. And so, you know, you got to just be okay with that, right? And I just realized that these are maybe not on straight. So check this one out. It may be a little bit crazy. So this is not straight, but I think it's going to be okay. It doesn't, we're not, again, I don't create in a perfectionistic way. So I just kind of roll with whatever happens. And there's a whole lot more joy in that than being stressed out about something that I didn't do right or I didn't do as planned. So we're just going to roll with it. It's not like anybody's going to be examining this. At least I don't think so. So there we go. So that was the last one. So, so that's pretty cool. I do need to cut off my sides. So again, we're going to start, I almost think I want to start with this one at the front. Yeah, I think I want this one to be the top one. So we're going to go like that. And we have to make sure we glue these together before we put the backs on, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a moment and trim off this edge. I want these all to open to the right. Okay, so this is the last little trimming for this step. Let me get rid of those bits. And we're going to go ahead and put these together because I want to make sure that they are all, yeah, that we have them how I want them to be. So we're going to put this one at the top. So, and I think I want this one in the middle and this one at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this flap to the back of this. So we're going to just apply some glue here. I'm going to try to leave a little bit of a gap there just because I want to make sure that I can fold that and it will bend. It's a lot of glue. So I'm going to just do that. So you see I'm leaving just a tiny bit of a gap there, not too much. I'm going to just give it a good press. Turn it over, make sure that we don't have any nasty glue on the back. Like that. So that is the second one, and then our bird one we'll put on the bottom. So it's going to go glue on the bottom of here. So same process. I noticed that this one is, I've got a little bit of a hangover here. I'm going to try to, from the flap, it's probably just the way that I cut that paper. So I'm just going to try to just kind of barely trim that so that goes away. So there we go. So the way it's going to flip is like this and then like this. So it's going to be epic, epic. So let's go ahead and do the backs now. So the only thing we want to think about here is that, and this is probably not going to be glued to a page. It's probably going to be paper clipped in because we want to be able to utilize the back of these. So I'm correcting myself there. So this one can be straight up on the back because it is going to stay that direction. This one needs to be flipped because it's going to be upside down when it's folded up, and the same with this one. So this one is going to be straight. So I'm just going to lay it down here. And which one did we have? I don't think it mattered. The back papers that I picked, I think I want to kind of pick something that goes with it. So we'll do this one. So it's going to go right here, like so. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here. And I will glue all 3 of these on, and then I will be back with you. Okay guys, this is the last one, and then we're going to just make sure it's all right. Worst case scenario, if you got one upside down, you can just put a new one on there, right? Not a big deal. So there we go. We've got a little bit of an overhang here. Let me see if I can scooch that over just a little bit. There we go. That's the beauty of Bearly Arts. If this was art glitter glue, I would not be able to move that. So again, flip over the page. This is going to flip up, and this is going to flip up. So everything is going the right direction. That is a little bit, I don't know if we just need more glue in here, but that's not working out. Just get a little more glue in there. If we need to trim it off, we can. It might be just a little bit too long there, but we'll work it out. It looks like it's too long. So what shall we do? What shall we do? I think I'm going to trim it. I'm going to try to trim it off here. Let me turn it over. Oh yeah, that's a significant overhang. I'm just being very careful so that I don't slice that other edge open, because then everything will fall apart. There we go. That looks to be better. So there we go. So, and there's our other side with everything going the right way. So, sorry, I keep saying so. I'm just thinking out loud here about what I need to do. This one is a little bit off too, so I'm just going to trim that up as well. Again, being very, very careful. Unintentionally cut something open. So let's go ahead and start putting stuff in here so that we can kind of get going on the rest of the project. So this is again open on this side right here. So what I like to do is put the original, I was thinking about putting the original picture back in, which is what I've done before. It's tricky because I have to get it lined up inside of there. So I'm going to try to do that, because then when the journal card is not in there, it looks like this is a whole page. So I've done that successfully before, so fingers crossed. I'm going to go ahead and do that with each of these. I'm going to glue those centers back in to the inside of the CD envelope. Okay, so that did not work. I did not get it moved over fast enough. I got it lined up at the top. But you know what? Again, guys, perfection is not the name of the game. What I am going to try to do is get some ink in there. So I'm just going to try to find a sponge that I can get in there really quick and kind of disguise that white a little bit. That was not cool. Yeah, that was not expected at all. So I'm going to just try to get in here, and I don't know if I can without inking out my window, but I'm going to try. That's a bummer. Bummer, bummer. That's not going to work. So that's okay though, guys. We got to embrace imperfection, right? So the only person that's going to see it is the recipient, right? And if I was doing this as a journal I was selling, I would start over and I would fix that. But this is a giveaway journal, so I'm not stressing about it. So we're going to do the same with the other pieces. This time, I think I'm gonna, trying to think about the best way to do that then. If I can put glue just on this side and then get in there and put more glue, maybe we'll try that. We'll glue on this edge. Okay, I'm happy with that. Not super happy about that though. Yikes. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on our cards now because that headache is over. So we've got, these are the cards that are going to go in their respective pockets. So this one's going to slide in here like so. And I think that these were just going to be, was I putting something on the, I think I was still going to put a tab or something on them so that they're easy to pull out. So I'm going to pick one here from my tabs here. I'm just going to cut these really quick and get them all prepared, and I'll be back with you. This was a lot of prep work, I have to tell you. It's not my favorite thing to do because it is not easy. Just all the measurements. So this from here, these edges from the circle to the edges is 2 inches, or is, what was it, an inch? I don't know. It was not 2 inches. Let me see, because now I'm curious. I think it was 1 inch. Excuse me. Excuse my body. I think it was 1 inch. No, it was a half an inch, just over a half an inch. So our last one is this one. We're going to go ahead and put the cute little birdie one on there. That makes sense. So now let's work on the other bits that are going to go on the inside, and then we're going to do some decorating on the fronts of these and put the pockets in, put the pockets on. I won't put anything in the pockets today because the video is already going to be long, but I will do that off camera. So this is the first one, and it's going to go in this one. So I'm just going to glue this piece of, oh, wait a minute. It's got to go... It's going to go in sideways, so it's going to go behind, so it won't matter directionally what side it is. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac and just get some glue on here. I can get it to come out. And I'm trying to not hide that bird, so I'm being very careful about that. And then I'm going to put some glue here. These ones will not go in yet because they are going to be wet, but that's that. Make sure that's straight. Looks a little, whoa, that seems good. And then we're just going to put this little button on. This is just an adhesive little button, but I don't trust the adhesive. So I'm going to use a little bit of Fabri-Tac. And that was a lot of Fabri-Tac. And I don't have a paper towel handy. Hang on, guys. Okay, all over my fingers. That's okay. Let me get this back in view here. Moderately in view. There we go. And this one says happy. Oh, I'm getting so sticky, and I'm just going to put it on top of there. Right there. It's a little bit bulky, but I account for that, as I've mentioned before. When I do 3 signatures, I do a 3-inch spine, so it's giving me an inch for every signature. And I might go bigger with this one depending, since I haven't actually made the cover yet. I have some flexibility to do that. So this one's going to go in here behind that card, and then it's just going to stick out like that. Hopefully, yeah, it's going to stick out the side of the journal, so it won't matter that it is that it's sticking out farther than that one. So and I don't know how to tell if that's, you know, like visually I can kind of look and see, oh, that looks about right, but I don't know if it's exactly right, the distance from each side, because that's tricky. I'm just going to keep that pressed for a second. It wants to lift up. This video might be a little bit longer, you guys, and I apologize for that. I'm not going to stress about it. If it's too long for you, please just speed me up. You can safely do that to, I think, 1.5 times the speed, and I don't sound like a deranged chipmunk, as I like to say. So I'm just going to slide that one in as well. And then the last thing we're going to do is just do a little bit of decorating on the front of each of these flaps. So I'm not worrying about that if it's straight right now. So let's just see if I can, let me fold this, see if I can fold that under so we can get this in view. So we're going to do a little bit of a cluster here, not anything too fancy. I've got a bunch of scraps over here I thought would be nice to use. So we've got some of that tissue paper. And I'm going to keep this very simple. I'm going to use a little bit of this pink. I'm just going to let you watch me do the clusters. You guys have seen me do that before, so not too concerned about that, about what, you know, you're seeing enough. You've seen it before. So as I've mentioned before, sometimes things get covered up that you intended to have show. So for instance, on this cluster, I really wanted that music page to show, but it's just the way it works. It just, you lose some of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the last one in real time. And we're going to just put on our last little bit of our cluster here. Just going to cut this down. This one's a little bit long, so I don't think I can trim it up very much. I'm going to try. It says, "It is well with my soul," one of my favorite sayings, or truths rather. I guess it's both, right? It's a truth if it's something you cling to. And I do cling to that, that no matter what's going on in our world, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. I'm just going to go with that one. I want something underneath there first. So let's see what I've got over here for paper. This is a piece of rice paper I thought I would try. Just from my scraps. These are all just scrap bits. Actually, I think it's this paper printed on the rice paper. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of this rice paper as a base. I'm going to lose our little bird there. Well, maybe we could put it, maybe we'll go middle on this one. Yeah, let's just do it different. No problem. I don't want to lose that little bird. It's so cute. I get another piece of book page or music page or something here. Got a little bit of musical notes here. When I'm making my clusters, I try to, as I've mentioned before, but in case you haven't watched my other videos, I try to have a little bit of book page, music page, some contrasting colors to make it interesting, and then a quote or something. So what else do we have here? Do we want this to go under here? Sure, why not? I'm going to kind of go off to the right side here with this glue. Bring that lace over to this side a little bit, like so. Put our music page on as well. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. There'll be lots of photos at the end of the video if you want to check those out. And I thank you so much for being here, for following, and for all your encouragement. It's really, really awesome. So yeah, it's super fun to create with you, even though we're not together. I think I just want a little piece of this. Like so. And then I really wanted to use this. So I'm going to just tear it down a little bit more. It's a spiritual experience, and this is again a scrap from the She paper, which you can get on SeanPetite.com if you subscribe to her subscriber library, which is you just get an email basically. And she's a phenomenal mixed media artist, so it would not be a loss at all to be receiving emails from her, believe me. So I'm just going to put that one down there. I just want that to come off. Actually, I think I need to come over with it because I still have to get my word on, and I don't want to cover this all up, which is the risk with clusters and finding favorite bits that sometimes you still lose them. I'm going to go way over here and up. This is going to be kind of a longer cluster because I don't want to lose those words when I put my quote on. I guess I didn't really need to put a quote at all, but I think I still want to. So we know it's there, right? That's my kind of my motto, is I know it's there and I know what it means. And if you're watching the video, then you know why it's there and you know what it means. So let's just see what we think about that. Yeah, I still like it. It's a bit much, but I'm going to go with it. Put putting it down with a bunch of glue there. So I'm not sure really where this is going to go. Spiritual. You can see spiritual really well. That's a bonus. This is not my favorite cluster, just so you know. But anyway, guys, I thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.